enharmonic equivalents. Enharmonic equivalents are notes that are the same note but have two different names. So these all are enharmonic equivalents. So an enharmonic equivalent, to give you an example, would be, if we use the piano here, we have, let's go with A. So we have A here. If we have an A sharp, so it's called A sharp, but it can also be called a B flat. This is due to it being one semitone below a B. So you flatten the B, but you also sharpen the A to get to the same note. Now, if we work through our ones here, we have, as we know, a C and then a B sharp. Now, a C is here, and then a B sharp would be one semitone up from a B. So they both be the same note, which is a C. So the enharmonic equivalent is C and B sharp, but they both equal a C. Now for this one, we have an E flat and a D sharp. So let's write that down quick. E flat and D sharp. Now E flat and D sharp, let's go to the piano. E flat, so E's here, and then E flat is there, and then D sharp is D here, and then you put it up one semitone, and it's up to there. So they both equal the same one, which is, we'll call it, they both equal the same note. So we won't put an equal sign there. But then, for the final one, we have a B, not a B, sorry, what am I saying? A G sharp and an A flat. So if we go to the piano one more time, we have a G sharp, which is G's here, G sharp, but then we've got A and then an A flat. So they're both, so we'd call that an enharmonic equivalent. So G sharp and A flat. Now, we use enharmonic equivalents to make sure that we're in the key. So basically, if I'm in the key of, if we have G sharp there, we'll go with A major. So if I'm in the key of A major, it has F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So this is A major. These are the sharps for A major. So we have F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Now, if we're in A major, and I want to use one of these notes, or if I want to use this note, I would prefer to use the G sharp instead of the A flat, because we already have a G sharp in the key signature. Whereas for if we're in a key signature with, let's go B flat, E flat, and A flat. Now if we go these three, so imagine that's E flat, B flat. So if we go these three, I would rather go for the A flat instead of the G sharp, because we already have an A flat here, which makes it easier for the musician to read and also for them to understand and play in the score.